Hey, from nothing to something, we're here. That's funny as fuck. We're here. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Danny Moe here with another episode of From Nothing to Something. Melanie and I, we took a little weekend trip up to Venice. We're staying out here at a friend's house. And a buddy of mine that I grew up with back home from Stamford, Connecticut, he started chasing his dream. He came out here to Venice to make some big moves. And I wanted to take the opportunity to do a podcast. I'm traveling podcast now and talk to him. We got Matrix Q. What up, Matrix?
What up? What's good?
First things first, man. Those of you listening at home, Matrix's name has absolutely nothing to do with the movie Matrix.
And just to set the record straight, as an adult, if you start dodging bullets in front of me, I'm gonna beat your ass.
I remember as a kid, people would be like, "Oh man, Matrix, are you named after the movie?" And he would be like, "Well, considering that I'm 16 years old and the movie came out like 4 years ago, no."
No, you dumbass. Is that a name that you chose? Why would I give myself that name? my mom gave me that name.
Yo, on the drive over here, Melanie said, that's actually pretty cool that his mom gave him that name.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to your mom about it? Like where she got the name? Like what was it about it that she wanted to give you that name?
First of all, she knew I was gonna have a big ass dick. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's tiny. Nah, my mom. If you ever saw the movie Commando,
okay, I
it's like
maybe I have seen it.
It's like a run and gun FBI.
Right. So, yeah,
Arnold
okay.
Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
His name is John Matrix.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, my
so
mom
you were named after a movie, just not the movie that everybody was referring to.
I was named after a character in the movie.
In a movie, there you go. Okay, All right. So the cinemas did inspire your name, though.
Yeah, she knew I was gonna look like Arnold when I got.
There you go. You do, bro. Like, and now you're in Venice, just like him.
Yeah. I'm going to run for office. Yeah.
Dude, for as long as I can remember, you've always been a character. Like, you've always made people laugh. You've always, you seem to enjoy making people laugh. Yeah. You know, you're a funny ass dude. So, do you ever consider, doing something with that? Like, doing comedy or maybe starting your own podcast or a blog or, you ever consider using the shit that you're, naturally good at, being
I don't
funny?
know, man. There was a little bit of time where I you remember Vine?
Yeah.
I was doing my thing on Vine a little bit. I started to gain some traction. People would follow my shit, repost my shit, and like, yo, you kind of funny. Da da da.
It's crazy that nobody picked up Vine. They kind of dropped. I feel like that's. I mean,
they just let it die.
Yeah, I mean they well, I think it just got phased out because, the real competitors, YouTube, Instagram. Once Instagram allowed you remember when Instagram allowed you to do videos?
Yeah, once they started that story shit, it was over.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Vine died out like MySpace, but Vine was cool.
Now, what happened with Vine was it wasn't paying the top influencers. Like the dudes at the top, there was no monetary value. Like Instagram, they could pay you for posts. Like YouTube, you monetize your videos. There was none of that monetization for Vine.
Wow.
So when they started doing it is when all the big Viners were like, bro, I could just do this on Instagram and get paid. Or I could do this on YouTube and get followers.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Most of those Vine OGs, like King Batch, he's a actual artist now. Like, he's an actor and, making real money in Hollywood.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they all started from Vine, doing stupid shit.
So talk to us a little bit about you, man, about, I know your story. There's probably going to be things that you talk about that I have no idea about, but talk to us a little bit about, where you're from, where you were born, how you got to Stamford, how you ended up here. Let's go through that whole bit.
Yeah, man. I'm Puerto Rican from the Bronx. I grew up in the South Bronx. My neighborhood was just like every other neighborhood when you think the Bronx. Gangs, violence, sex, bitches, weed, liquor.
I'm going to move this closer a little bit.
Nah, that's cool. Am I too quiet?
No, yeah. I can hear it. Like, I'm a little bit louder than you, but that's all right.
Okay, so yeah.
Better.
All of that stuff was in my childhood. I came from a family where I didn't know my biological father. He left my mom basically when I was born. But I was blessed, man, because I didn't know my biological father, but at 4 years old, my mom met my stepfather, and he's been my pops ever since. And then I also had my uncle, who was like your stereotypical street nigga. Like, this dude was crazy. Braids, would just do crazy, fought cops. I saw him he fought 4 cops. Like, why do you fight cops? Like, why would you do something like that? But he fought 4 cops. But the dude was just crazy. So I grew up with all of that around me. Right. And I just knew that was not me. Like, I was in the streets, but it wasn't just it. It didn't feel right to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it didn't really appeal to you.
Exactly.
So most kids, from, rough upbringings, the Bronx, New York, Bronx and shit like that, or Brooklyn, like, that's what they know, and that's what they kind of get influenced by. You're a product of your environment.
Exactly.
But you kind of knew that you weren't meant to be a product of that environment.
Yeah, that stuff wasn't popping to me. Like, I like the culture. Like, I listen to hip hop, Big Pun, Dipset, 50, like Old School J. I was alive when Jay-Z and Tupac were battling, and that shit was crazy. Jadakiss, like all that stuff. And I wore the flags and the do-rags, and I tried to get waves that never happened. I used to do all that stuff. Like, I had 2 bandanas, one on my head, one hanging out my pocket, like just stupid street stuff. Yeah. But I didn't know, I didn't connect with the gangs and fighting and all that crazy stuff. So at the age of 13, unfortunately, because my uncle was a street dude, he got killed. He got shot 7 times. So my mom was like, fuck that. We're moving to Connecticut.
Was this your mom's brother?
Yeah, it's my mom's little brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so he got killed, and my mom was just like, nah, I can't have my kids going through this. And they did the best they could. Like, my mom put me and my brothers in baseball and karate and like
you had good bro. You had awesome parents, bro.
Yeah. My mom's a pain in my ass, cool, but she's
but I remember growing up, like you always felt that way about your mom,
right? Because it's my mom.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. You were always like a little embarrassed by her. You're like, Mom, what the fuck?
You know why? Because I'm just like her.
Yeah.
So she's super extra, and that's me.
She is. She's very outgoing, and she was just cool, man. Like a kid growing up, like she was always welcoming and warm, and she was also very real. She'd be like, "Don't fuck around. I'll fuck you up too."
She talked to you like a dude. And
yeah.
That's why most people love my mom, because she was a thug. And I tell people that, and they're like, "No, your mom not like that." It's like, yo,
wait till you meet her.
I tell my mom, I'm like, Ma, like we talk like. She's like, when am I going to have a grandbaby? I'm like, nah, Ma, you can't have grandbabies in the butt. Like, I pull out every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she be getting mad. She be like, what are you talking about? I'm going to fuck you up. But that's how I talk to my mom. That's how it is.
Right.
So, at 13, we moved to Connecticut, and that's just kind of how it happened. I met Mateo, and then Mateo, his deep-ass accent, that was like my first boy in Connecticut. And then we would ride bikes.
Where'd you guys meet?
I don't even fucking know, to be honest. Like, I don't
remember. Did you guys
remember.
go to the same middle school? No.
Nah, he went to a different middle school. I went to Clune.
Was it in high school?
It was like the summer of high school. I was messing around with some chick, some black chick.
Go ahead.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Matrix had a questionable relationship, and we won't bring it up.
We will not bring that up. She was a couple years younger than me.
Bro, going into this podcast, I told myself, like,
don't talk about that.
I won't talk about it.
All right, good. You a fucking lying ass. Nah, so I don't even remember how I met Mateo, but through Mateo, obviously I met you, and I think it was just us like linking up, riding bikes around the neighborhood, doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Doing backflips at fucking Stanford High.
You remember that on the mats?
Getting drunk, drinking 99 bananas, and doing dumb shit. Like, just who drinks that? That's
we would do. So my mom, those of you listening, my mom grew up right next to this high school, And like during track season, they would leave the mats out that the pole vaulters would use. So we would go over to the football field and we would drag the mats next to the concession stand, and we'd climb the fence and like just do flips off the concession stand onto the mats, drink, and like, you know, we'd have girls with us and shit, right? We would invite
showing
girls.
Off for no reason, Yo, there was a time where I was in transition between relationships, and you remember when we were playing hide and seek, and my black girlfriend was gone, like we just couldn't find her for hours. We were playing hide and seek at night. And
we were manhunt. We were playing manhunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's hide and seek, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's
manhunt sounds cooler.
Yeah. It's a little bit more aggressive. Instead of tagging, you tackle them. And
right. Well, also manhunt is like it's like on a massive scale, and it's outside. It's like a whole neighborhood, and like, you know.
We just did the high school though. Like it was around the high school, but
and it was dark, bro.
It was dark as fuck.
But
and that was the running joke because she was black and she hid so well. So you guys kept talking shit, and I was mad because that was still my girl.
We were like, bro,
but I couldn't defend her too much because my new chick was also there that I was trying to like. So I was stuck in the middle.
No, you're a piece of shit, man.
How? I never cheated. I was just having conversation.
So
she went missing. It's not my fault.
So all right. So you talked about how you came to Stanford, right? But you know what? You brought up something cool. Like, I think it's fucking cool how we used to hang out, because I feel like kids don't do that anymore. They don't do that
anymore, man.
You know, like, you know, it's like the age of technology now, and we're like at an age where we are millennials when you look at the numbers and shit.
Right.
But we're like the earlier stage where a lot of us still kind of we were still kind of doing old school shit. Like I didn't really get into video games. Like even now, I mean,
we had them, but
yeah, we were more outside riding bikes, doing dumb shit. Remember, we would drive around my car and egg people, and like
I remember, still to today, I tell this story about when we got pulled over with Ronald Thompson.
Go ahead.
And we were in the hood, and Ronald being half white, half black, and we're all Spanish. Everybody else in the car. He's like, "Do you know who my father is?" And I was like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. We're Spanish in a Honda Civic hatchback. We're going to jail. Like, shut up. Do you know who my father is?"
Bro, I heard a story that he got pulled over like after high school a couple years ago, right? Like maybe like I want to say like maybe like when we were around 21 years old, 22, around that time.
That's more than a couple years ago.
Right.
It's like 8 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you compare it to the span of the time that we've known each other. But I heard a story that he got pulled over and he had weed on him.
What the fuck?
Oh, I think one of the cameras cut out.
Yeah, it was that one.
Was it? Is it out? You want to go check it real quick? Yeah. He's the camera guy, too, those of you listening. Here, we're going to take a... No, we won't even take a break because I was in the middle of a story. Oh, it's still recording, though, because I could see the red light flashing. Yeah, that's cool. Fuck it. If that happens again, we'll just let it die out. Because I could see in the mirror the red light still flashing. So anyways, I don't know. I heard a story that he got pulled over. He had weed on him, and he also had a marijuana card. And it was during the time when Connecticut was going legal. And he was like flipping out on the cop. I don't know if he got arrested or something, but I heard he was like, you know, doing that Ronald Thompson shit. We grew up with this kid, Ronald Thompson, okay? I'll tell you about Ronald Thompson real quick. This dude,
Shout out to Ronald.
Yo, Ronald Thompson, you're the shit, bro. We're not talking shit about you, but we're just telling the type of person that you were, and I know that this person is still inside you. I know you're probably successful somewhere. I think he's doing like sports medicine or some shit like that. I've been keeping tabs on certain people. But anyways, so Ronald Thompson, we grew up with Ronald Thompson, and he grew up wrestling, and he's half Haitian, half white, and he was always built like a grown man, bro.
At 14.
He was like 14 with abs, and like he would fight grown men. He was just, nobody fucked with Ronald Thompson. Nobody. Ever. And when you were cool with them, if you were fucking with him in a playful way, he would always like take it way too far and start wrestling you and fuck you up. So nobody ever messed with Ron. He was just so fucking hothead. He's an incredible athlete. And
my boy had cauliflower ear at 12. That's how you know he was about business.
Bro, do you remember he had like that cyst on his arm? He would always play with it. You're
dirty. Get off the mat, wash your ass. Yo, I love you, Ronald. If you see this, I'm not talking shit.
Yo, but all right, so you get to Stanford.
I still don't want to smoke.
What are you talking
I don't want him to put me in a fucking
I know, he just cradle you real quick.
Yeah, I don't know what the wrestling moves.
I remember, like, we were in wrestling practice, right? And we would wrestle all the time.
Yo, I just wrestled because y'all were in it. Like,
right.
It was you, Ronald, and Mateo. Like, I only wrestled because you guys wrestled.
I wasn't even that good. You trying it out, man.
I was skinny as fuck.
That meant a lot. That meant a lot.
Featherweight. I never even went to I never had a match.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't even give me that leotard. I wasn't even part of the team. I was a fucking mascot.
They were like, Matrix, are you ever coming back? You're like, yeah, maybe.
Never show up. Fuck that. I'm gonna go chase tail. I'm good at that. Let me go talk to girls.
So we were in high school together, but I'm still trying to figure out where you met Mateo at.
I don't know. We have to call him and ask because I don't remember. I really
crazy.
don't. It's just, it was destiny, bro. Like,
because I met you in high school, but Mateo had already known you.
Yeah. No, we met the summer. We met the summer of 2004, like when we were going into high school. Yeah. We all three of us met. We would ride around the hood on our bikes.
Yeah, that's
Japan.
Weird. So we all met together.
Yeah. And then we got closer because my new girl looked better than your old girl.
So
and
basically,
they were cousins.
I started dating a girl in high school, and
your wife's gonna kill you when she sees.
Nah, it's my past, bro. She
Last time she almost bit your fucking head off.
She was just mad that you brought it up, but that's
history.
We all have a history, exactly. It's cool, bro. This is the podcast. This is different shit. Anyway, so I dated a girl in high school, and she had a cousin. And we basically linked her cousin up with Matrix.
Yeah.
And me and Matrix used to get into the argument all the time of who was hotter.
Right.
And to this day he swears he was right and he won that argument, but that's not an argument that I feel comfortable having anymore.
Yeah.
We just drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It got a little serious, but
well, hey, you did win the length of your relationship. You guys lasted a lot longer than me.
That's still the longest relationship I ever had.
Yeah,
bro, I went through some crazy stuff with that girl.
Yeah, like, I know.
I moved to Ohio. I was gonna go to school out there.
You moved out there for her.
I was out there. Yeah.
Wow.
Ohio, the middle of nowhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like, when you're a kid and you start dating chicks and you start getting pussy and shit like that, right. And you start like, you do kids thing, man. But first of all, like the control that like the desire for girls had over me at like 16 years old, it's fucking crazy, bro.
Dude. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Honestly, I don't even know how I survived that long in the relationship without cheating. Not to be honest. Yeah. All right, I came from New York, so automatically, just the way I talked, I carried myself. I had a different swag.
Yeah.
And then in Stanford, everyone went to the same fucking elementary schools with each other.
Right, we all knew each other.
So they all knew each other. Yeah, exactly. And then I came in, and they were like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, and also you pick up like Stanford people, if they come to like California, they'll be like, "You're from New Jersey or some shit."
Right.
But Stanford people, when a New Yorker comes in, we know automatically. Like, you're from New York. You just tell.
The day I got to Connecticut, I went to school the first day. Kids were scared of me for no reason, just because I was from New York. Like, oh, you from New York? Yo, what's up, man? Respect. Respect for what? I didn't do anything.
Hey, but you know what? It was weird where we went to high school because
white people say the N-word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. But like Stanford's a weird place, man.
Weird.
It's
so
weird
strange.
Because it's one town, right? Mm-hmm. But you have such high extremes of like classes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, like when you early years.
I have a story for that
at like
too.
the Village. Remember,
the V?
like the V came up. It's not, but there was a time, bro, like in the '90s when like police weren't even allowed to drive through there. Like people would get killed in the village
for no reason,
and it would take like hours to get the body. Like police just wouldn't go through there. And then you from the village, bro, if you just drive 10 miles, you're in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's
if you just drive up the street, you're in North Stamford.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's fucking in multi-million-dollar houses, suburb.
The first house on West Hill Road is a fucking mansion. It's like, it looks like the White House with the pillars and shit.
And it's crazy because like we like these different classes like went to school together.
All together.
Yeah.
And hung out and still hang out today.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's weird. It's like I remember we would go to like parties in like North Stamford at like someone's house. Right, I won't put anybody on blast, but like their parents are gone, and
she lives in Santa Monica.
For real?
Yeah.
What is she doing?
She's a yoga instructor.
Okay.
Don't laugh. Right. I'm dead serious.
That's cool. Serious. No, that's cool. I wasn't really ready for that answer. Yeah.
You thought she was gonna be like.
No.
She's a multi-millionaire.
No. Not even that. I guess it's more like I don't see why she had to come to Santa Monica to be a yoga instructor.
It's California, man. Why not?
Yeah. But I mean, there's yoga everywhere. But I guess. Yeah. I mean, California maybe is the yoga capital of the world. I don't know. But so we used to go to like these people's houses, and like it's so crazy because you have such a diverse group of kids. You have kids from like the hood. You have Spanish kids from like the east side, and then you got these rich white kids. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just, and you think it would be a recipe for disaster, but a lot of times. It was cool. I tell
love.
The thing that I loved about my childhood is, and I think it contributes to my success today and my ability to interact with different levels of people.
Exactly. To be a chameleon.
Right. Yep. I can blend in with rich people. I can blend in with Hispanics.
Right.
I can blend in with hood dudes, black dudes, white, like Asian dudes. Asian dudes was a little bit difficult to get used to.
Yeah, because those kids were walking around with fucking Naruto headbands and shit.
But
walking around like. It's like, yo. That was your boy too, the one in ROTC that would do all that weird shit.
Which
something Chan, no homo.
No. You're talking about Trong, Bobby Trong. You remember Bobby Trong?
I don't know.
He joined the Marine Corps with me.
Did he?
Yeah, he's like
No, I'm talking about those twin brothers. You remember the two twin brothers?
They're Spanish, bro.
They're not Spanish. Get out of here, bro. They're not Spanish.
They're Hispanic. They're like Guatemalan or something like that.
Go somewhere. I'm leaving the podcast right now. No, they're not Spanish.
The only Asian people that I can think of is Bobby Trong, who joined the Marine Corps with me, and now he's like he does like tiling and shit. I follow him on social media, and he's always putting videos up of like just like. He's like legit, bro. Like he'll show like a weird cut in like a wall, and then he'll slide the tile that he cut in, and it fits like perfect. Like you know those
those oddly satisfying videos.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He does that shit like for a living, and he seems like he's doing good.
That's what's up.
And bro, those
shout out to Bobby.
Yo, those like jobs, bro, where you're like a carpenter, electrician, or whatever, a plumber. They're tough, but they also make good money, bro.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They make legit fucking money.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then the other one is, fuck, man. Damn, he hit me up on social media, and I feel so bad because he's probably going to watch this. He'd be like, how the fuck did you forget my name?
That's fucked up.
God damn it.
You talking about the kid with the big ass head?
Damn, it's, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my god, I'm an asshole.
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah,
he got a big ass head.
No, he's doing good. He's doing good as well. He became like an officer in the army, and then he got out. And of Alviso. Do you remember when he ran for like class president or some shit like that?
Bro,
and he went
I
up
went
there and
to
did
school.
The speech?
I did not pay attention. I don't know what happened. Bro. I just they forced me out to school.
Yo, I say that all the time. Like I don't remember the science that I took. I couldn't tell you.
Bro, I went to school high every single day. Like every day I smoked 4 times a day for no reason.
For no reason?
No reason. I was high all the time. Like why? Now I'm 29. I live in California. I could smoke. I don't even smoke. It's like I did that already. I'm good. I don't need to do it.
Yeah, but it's different out here, or so they say.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
All right, man.
Out here, they do weird shit. They do like mushrooms and LSD, and they like psychedelics, man.
Yeah, but you know,
it's not the 70s.
There's a lot of people that are into that, man, and
I get it.
Colorado just they decriminalized, didn't legalize, but they decriminalized mushrooms. Right. I read an article about, and I don't know how that works, but I read an article about was it San Francisco or Oakland that also decriminalized mushrooms. I don't know how a city can do that within the city, but yeah, it's a weird place. Yeah. I think there's a lot of information being thrown around, that a lot of knowledge, like information's right at our fingertips. So I think that's changing like the structure of our society
and the perception of different things.
Right. So I don't know. It's weird, man.
I mean, I'm cool with it, to each their own, but I'm about to do ayahuasca tomorrow, so I'm talking mad shit. And
no, that's cool. But no, you know what? I think that, to be honest, I think that if you're not a piece of shit person and you're successful and you're doing everything that you need to do to like live your life, right? And you're passionate in your pursuit, I think that it's very, very important to just do what you want to do. And if you feel like doing like a psychedelic, there's a lot of research. If you're into mushrooms, ayahuasca, DMT, there's a lot of research that goes into that shit that basically says that it's like a spiritual experience and people feel like they benefit from that in their life. So I don't, and not that I do it, but I don't see an issue or a problem with it. I just don't. If that's something that you want to implement in your life. Now, I think it's an issue where, if you're a piece of shit and you're not doing anything with your life, you live in your mom's basement, you're fucking around, you don't have a job, then what spiritual journey are you trying to go on? What are you trying to learn?
Escape?
Yeah,
you're trying to block shit out.
But at that point, we can talk. Same thing is with sugar. Same thing with alcohol. Same thing. I think everything can be dangerous if you're not. If you're not careful with it and you're in moderation, bro. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I'm completely against like heroin and shit like that, but
I don't mess with that, none of that stuff.
But ayahuasca medicine, it's like medicine that the Native Americans used, and it's made in a real specific way, and it's all like natural herbs and mushrooms and like natural growing things that cause you to hallucinate.
Yeah, the only reason I've done it before, and this is my second time.
Okay. How was your first? What was it like?
Oh man, what I say to people is that it you get two things from it. You get super connected, and you get super clear. Yeah. Right. So if you go in there with something on your mind, like you're worried about paying bills, or you're worried about a new chapter in your life, or whatever you got on your mind, you get direct access to your subconscious. Right. So you really go straight through all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And you communicate with your deepest self. Like you communicate directly to you. Like what's your worries? And then I always tell people you have the answers. You already know. Right. So I'm an aspiring motivational speaker, right? Life coach. And the best part of doing what I do is that I get paid to tell people stuff they already know. Right. So you come to me, I have an issue. My girlfriend is being XYZ. Mm-hmm. I ask you questions about why do you think your girlfriend's being like that? Maybe this, maybe that. 9 times out of 10, people already have that answer. They just need people to put it in front of them.
Right. And it's like therapy. Therapy does the same thing.
And it's the same thing with ayahuasca. You're doing therapy on yourself. Right. And you're not so much in your head like, oh, maybe this, maybe that. You just go straight to the fucking problem, and you're like, okay, it's me and this problem. What the hell am I going to do to fix this? Right. Yeah.
But, I think that it's healthy for you to be using it in that way, like there's a lot of things that me and Melanie do. Like Melanie got this book called Emotional Intelligence, and it's pretty fucking
EQ,
dope.
Baby. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to read it when she's done with it. And she'll like tell me like interesting things in the book that she reads, and like there's a portion in the back of the brain that that's your emotional part, right? It's like It's like the responsive part. It's like the part that monitors your emotion. And what the book explains is they've already proven this, like medically, is that part of your brain responds before your brain can make the connection about what actually happened. Which is why a lot of people react, and it's emotional, and it's an emotional reaction off the immediate start.
Right.
And that's why it's always recommended, like, take time, don't respond right away. Right. Because you have to give your brain more time. Instead of listening to that emotional jump, you have to give your receptors time to fire process and evaluate and process it. Yeah. And it's interesting, man. I think that there's a lot of things that people do that negatively affect their life. Right. Like, I think people are scared to face adversity. People are scared to deal with their uncertainties.
Give me a second. That one.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. You're going to fix the camera. Yeah. Oh, I think that one might have went out too. That's what that click was, huh? Yeah. Maybe the first one was 15 minutes.
I don't know with this camera.
Yeah. That's all right though. I'll be able to adjust it. You see is my MacBook charger? You see the MacBook charger anywhere? The white cord?
Over here.
Yeah, let me see that real quick.
That's annoying, bro, because we were getting into juice.
Yeah, I know. We'll get back to it. I'll get back to talking. This is probably going to get hot as hell. I'm just going to put it on the floor. Yeah. All right, we're good. Cool. Bro, I'm going to leave all of this in the video. Fuck it.
Let's do it.
I hate cutting shit out, so. But no, I just really think that people don't want to challenge themselves. People are scared. For instance, like, it's natural, right? Because I do it too. If I spend a lot of money, I'm scared to look at my bank account. And I like avoid that.
You swipe past that app a couple times. Like,
yeah. You don't want to do it.
And you try to guesstimate how much you spend, like how much you had. You're like,
right.
All right, I have $1,500.
Right.
I got $400. I got $1,100.
But think about it. You, like, all of us do that, like, willingly, naturally, with income. We do it subconsciously with our thoughts. Yeah. So, that's why I love the fact that I'm in school, because I'm constantly learning. You know, I read as much as I can, and like any information that I can obtain, I try to benefit from, and I think it is beneficial, you know, and I think it's important for you to face your demons. For sure. And if ayahuasca medicine, you know, helps you do that, bro, then more power to you. Someone told me that mushrooms are good, but not if you do them all the time. That's what somebody told me. Somebody said,
because it loses its power, man. You're doing it for medication, right? You're doing it to get connected.
Right.
If you do it all the time, it's like when you first smoke weed. You get high.
Right.
Then you smoke more weed to get just as high.
Right.
And then you keep smoking and smoking and smoking, and then eventually you're just like, I need stronger weed. I need a new type of weed. I need a new strand. And you start looking for other things. Yeah. Instead of just stop smoking for a little while. Right. Then that first blunt you pick up, or the first dab, or whatever you do, you're fucking high, and you're like, oh shit, this is what it feels like. Right. People do it too much because
they want to numb.
They want to numb.
You know,
exactly.
And it's just,
exactly. We live in
it's
a society.
It's a shitty way to live, bro.
Yeah, we live in a society where people are fucking afraid to be real.
Yeah, dude, I agree.
Go on Instagram, look at anybody's pictures, anybody. And you see them living their best life.
And you know that's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Everybody's not living like that.
Bro, I don't post any pictures that I'm like, millionaire, Lamborghini, somebody else's Tesla. Yo, it's just so pictures of me mugging, chilling, and a motivational quote. What I'm feeling at the time. Yeah. And if it's not my quote, I source it. This is fucking Ellen DeGeneres that said this. Martin Luther King said this.
You know, Melanie and I, we took this trip up here. You know, we didn't get to celebrate our birthdays, so we wanted to take some time and just kind of get some R&R, you know, and like we left our house at 9.
You pulling out?
Huh?
You pulling out?
Nah, never.
bugging. You got 17 kids already, bro.
I know, man. I know.
You trying to repopulate Puerto Rico after the disaster?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I got to help Puerto Rico repopulate.
I get it.
No, but Melanie and I, we were talking about how, like, people always do that. They like peacock, you know? It's like,
right.
It's like when you earn a 6-figure salary, people, then, you know, you feel like you have to start peacocking and buying, like, brand name shit.
Extra
and
shit.
You look at, like, millionaires, bro, they don't dress all flashy, bro.
Bro, people will never know how much I make because I always wear the same shit. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt or fucking chancletas and a basketball shorts.
Yeah.
My bank account could say $4,000 or it could say -200. Like, people won't know.
Right.
Because what's the material? That should, like, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, you buy red bottom shoes. Or you buy, I think it's so funny because I see this all the time. I see girls who buy, like, $3,000 purses.
Right, yeah.
And they don't even have money for a taxi. Like, they in New York, they don't have money for a $2 slice of pizza. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Who are you showing off for? No one cares.
That's literally, Melanie and I were just talking about this. We drove all the way up PCH from San Diego. Like, you know, it was like a 3-hour drive to here, but it was cool. It was cool because her and I were just talking and enjoying the view, and then, you know, we drove through Long Beach and we're like, oh shit, LBC is wild, huh?
Yeah. I've never been, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It looks
Snoop
like
Dogg's out there
oh
LBC and a place to be. Shut your ass up.
So that's exactly what we were talking about, is like, I get it. Like, in my early 20s, I was like that, all right? Like, I bought this expensive ass watch in my early 20s, and like, it was a stupid purchase. It just was. But men do that, right? Like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I need like a Gucci belt and shit, or like you're buying Jordans and like a matching fitted. Like, I get it when you're young, but like, I feel like dudes grow out of that,
or they should
more. Well, dudes grow out of it much quicker than girls do, because girls will be in their 40s still buying like Dolce and Gabbana, like glasses and bags, and it's like, dude.
I mean, if you got it, and that's just your standard, right? Like, that's your brand, and that's what you want to get. If you got it, do it. But if you're stretching, and you can't pay rent, and you over here buying like $4,000 bags and like $350 shades,
but there's people like that.
Stop being stupid.
Yeah,
stop. Just don't do it,
bro. The one thing that I noticed since I got out of the Marine Corps is most people are fucking stupid. Unfortunately, I swear to God, bro.
That's the truth.
I swear to God. Truth. Most people are fucking stupid. And they do
stupid shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, why does everybody hate me? Why does my life suck? Because you're a dumbass. That's why. Stop doing dumb things, and dumb things won't happen to you.
So,
shout out to my boy, Forrest Gump. Stupid is as stupid does.
I'm not a stupid man, but I know what love is, Jenny.
Jenny. Yeah. Forrest was a fucking philosopher.
So, yo, I watched that movie now as a grown man, and I'm like, bro.
My boy knew.
I wish I had friends like Forrest Gump. He would be my best friend, bro.
You did have friends like Forrest Gump. You remember Truck Stick?
Nah, you keep. Oh, the chick, and she would just walk through the hallways. There was this girl in our high school, and she would always carry all her books and her friends' books had to be in this goddamn backpack.
I'm going to hell.
And she would just fucking walk down the hallway with her head down, and she'd lean forward.
Truck everybody.
And she's going like at a good pace. This isn't just a normal walking pace. And if you didn't move out of her fucking way, she was about to fucking run you over.
Truck Stick. Shout out to
her. And she didn't give a fuck.
She didn't.
She was in the special classes, huh? She was like a little special.
I'm going to hell.
No. I mean, there were kids in our high school that were in special classes.
Right.
I'm not, you know.
Yo, whatever.
I didn't use the R word.
Yo, whatever happened to Jared?
Jared
Morrison.
I don't know. Matter of fact, I think I've seen him on
that kid was special.
LinkedIn.
Doing what?
I think so. I don't know. He had a suit and tie on. And he looked great.
Selling Adderall.
Bro, why do you bring him up?
Because he was special. He was Forrest Gump-esque.
Bro, you know what? When you think about it, you're right, though. A lot of the kids, like, going through high school were a little, you're like, oh, the fuck's wrong with this dude? But you don't realize it because you're in high school.
I thought I was fucked up in high school. Like I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna make it. It's like I gotta marry somebody who's hot. I'm not gonna make it.
Do you remember Miles?
You don't remember? Oh, yes, Miles with the big ears.
Yeah, and he'd be like,
yo, he tried to go Super Saiyan and stuff. Yeah, I know.
Bro, wow.
I hope none of you guys are watching this. We're talking.
If you are, bro, I hope
you.
you're doing great. And you know what? I hope you're fucking normal now. And you're like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, right, bro. People get worse when they get older. They don't get better. They don't get better. You think they're just gonna? No.
Man, I hope so. I'm
no.
trying to be fucking positive here. Look at the glass half full.
Bro, the other half is full of air.
All right, so after high school.
I'm being real negative on this podcast.
No, it's all right.
Like cynical.
It's all right. It's all right. I like it, Matrix. You're being honest. I appreciate it.
They get worse when they get older.
Okay, like who? Example.
Bro, have you ever been back to Stanford? Go to...
Very, bro, So this is a true statement. Since I joined the Marine Corps, my time in the Marine Corps, I probably went home 5 times. The first 2 times, I went more than a week, and then I told myself,
fuck that.
I'm never going back for more than a couple days again. And then this last time we went, I think I told my mom, I don't think I'll be back for a while. Yeah. And it's, I mean, I don't have anything wrong with Stanford. Like I said, I think I was fortunate to grow up there, but there's
people got worse.
There.
People got worse. That's why you don't want to go back.
I guess
they're still doing the same thing they were doing when we were.
Yeah,
18.
yeah. So maybe maybe they didn't get worse. I hope that they got better, like internally, like they've gone through life experiences and they've matured a little bit. They have to, right? You have to mature a little bit.
Some people
you have to, but at the end of the day, yeah, there are a lot of people still kind of doing the same shit that they were doing when I left in 2008.
Bro, I love all my people in Stanford. Anybody from Stanford watching this, I love you.
Yeah.
But there are probably like 5 or 6 people from Stanford that are doing it, and me and you are 2 of those people. like let's just be real, man. Like it's me, you, Mateo, and then the rest are like.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't.
Out of all of us, Mateo is doing the best, and I was the most concerned for Mateo.
For Mateo, yeah,
he barely spoke English.
His story is wild.
He barely spoke English.
Yeah, he wasn't even a fucking citizen.
Yo, and he made it. My boy's killing it.
Yeah,
killing it. I love Mateo.
I know.
That's
fucking
my boy.
Dope.
Yeah,
yeah. But so
he's still the same height, but it's all good.
Yo, this fool Mateo is something else. He comes and visits. He comes out here sometimes, once in a while.
Anytime I did anything with Mateo, we could have gotten arrested. Like almost every single time. Actually, two of the times we actually got arrested. Like anytime I was with this dude, chances are we were doing something we shouldn't be doing legally. My mom thought he was my the best friend that I ever had. She was like, that kid, he's going places. I'm like, yeah, to jail. That's where he's going. And my dumb ass is following him.
You know who reached out to me recently? You remember Sharon Snacks?
Yeah. What happened to him?
Dude.
Did he lose weight?
Yeah, he looks like it. I don't know. His Instagram, he's like a badass artist, dude. Like, I made a comment on Phil Backus's post. Phil Backus.
Wow,
you remember Phil Backus?
Yeah.
I chilled with Phil Backus one time. He came out here and we hung out.
Yeah.
But I knew Phil Backus since Westover. Like me and Phil Backus go way back. Yeah. The elementary school is when I met him. But his dad, he made a post for Father's Day, and like his dad was like legit. Like I remember stories about his dad, and I was just like, yo, your dad was a legit dad. I remember him, tell him I said what's up. And and then Sharon saw the post and like was like, yo, Danny, what's up? And I didn't know who it was at first. And then I click on it, I'm scrolling like, whoever this is can fucking draw, dude.
Yeah.
This is fucking legit. And he's got like a book. He made like a post of a book that he made with a bunch of his drawings and his name in it. I messaged him a couple times. This was like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I made a comment. I'm like, damn, it's crazy, bro. This this talent was inside you the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people get so caught up living that Stanford life, right? Like doing stupid stuff. And
but I mean, it's not just Stanford, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, there's in every every city, every state has like a city or a town, and
right.
and you know, everybody can probably relate to this podcast because
exactly.
I meet
Trumbull,
a lot of people.
Norwalk,
yeah, you know,
Bridgeport, they all got those.
But even from other states, like in jiu-jitsu, like I meet people in jiu-jitsu all the time who like pick up and move to San Diego because they want to train with 10th Planet,
right.
and they're from like Minnesota or Wisconsin or Milwaukee or like some shit.
I would want to move from there too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Is like there's like so many small towns that like I don't know, man. You just gotta get up and do something different. Right. And it took you some time to get out of Stanford too.
9
I was telling
years.
you for the longest
9
time, bro. I was like,
9
bro,
years.
you know, you get out of Stanford, bro. Go do something, you know?
It's really, it sounds cliche, but it's a fucking decision. You just gotta do it.
Right.
Like you can't think about what's gonna happen, right? So you can stay in the same town that you grew up in and be broke and struggling, or you could do it somewhere where it's nicer. Like you're gonna be broke and struggling back there,
right?
You might as well be happy with the time you get,
right?
When you enjoy yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm broke, I'm unhappy, I'm in Stanford, it's a fucking blizzard, I can't do anything for 3 days,
right?
Or I'm broke, I'm unhappy, and I'm living in Venice, California, on a beach. Like it's just a different,
right?
And then the craziest thing is that I'm saying like I'm broke and this, I'm that, but when you get around people who are happy and energetically, like shit is just different.
Before. I know exactly what
it
you're
just
talking
shifts
about.
for you. It's like a click.
Yeah,
like you get around inspired people and you just become inspired. It's just the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah,
it's just like, ah, man, I'm around these same old people. Like I was in a tired ass, whack ass relationship, and like going to bars, I was a regular at a bar. The bartender knew what I was drinking, knew what I was eating. I gained weight. I was 270 pounds. I didn't tell anybody. Like nobody knew exactly how much I weighed. Like people ask me how much you weigh. I'm like 240, 250. Nah, I was almost 300 pounds, bro. And I was in a relationship where like the sex was whack. My girl was corny. Like I would go home and I'd lay with my back towards her. Like one day I came in. This was the tipping point for me. One day I came in from work and she was sitting on the couch with some stained up, nasty ass pajamas on, eating a stick of cheese. And I was like, this is the person.
Bro, that sounds like when I come home every day.
Nah. If that's the truth, I'm sorry. But for me, I was just like,
I love my wife. I'm just giving her shit. Go ahead.
That for me, I was just like, I don't know if I could be with this I opened the door and I was like, that is the least sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, who the fuck eats cheese like that? Like no crackers. The wrapper was still. She rolled the wrapper down like it was a Snickers bar. Bro. I was just fucking going to work on the cheese. I said, fuck that.
You sat down, you're like, this is.
That shit was extra sharp, and her breath smelled like nasty ass podrido milk, nigga. Her shit stank. And I was just like, yeah, I'm done. And then I actually went from, but on the outside, people would look. I was working at the bank. I was making $80,000 a year as a manager, hitting commission like goals, and she was making $120,000 in mortgage, and together we were making really good money.
Right.
We were living in downtown Stanford. There was a movie theater in my apartment building, bro. Like I would walk to downtown 2 minutes. Like we were right in the middle of downtown Stanford. I had a car. She had a car. Like everything was good. I had money to invest. Like on the outside, everything looked great. But I was just hanging out with uninspired people.
Right.
So I put my goals, my ambitions to the side. I was doing Motivational Monday for almost a year straight.
Yeah, you had your whole podcast page going. You got like
a YouTube page and shit.
Sorry. Podcast. I meant YouTube page. You know, you were all over social media. You
killing it.
You had hats made. You had like you had
my brand going.
Retail made. You know.
Yeah, I had merch. I had in my first week when I produced my hats, I sold over $4,000 in hats. My first week, I just opened hat, like made my hats. Bam, people buying. I'm like, oh shit. People I know from like New York were hitting me up like, yo, your videos inspired me. Like whatever you're saying, keep doing it, right? And I was making moves, and then I get with this chick, and I remember this conversation clearly. We were on the couch. We just finished watching CSI, and she looked at me and she goes, why do you record those videos? What videos? Your YouTube videos. It's like, because I want to be a motivational speaker. That's what I want to do with my life. You shouldn't do that. I was like, why? Bro, I'm trying to be serious. Fuck you.
No, bro. That's so funny that she just...
Yo, it gets worse, though, because she goes, you shouldn't do that. And I was like, why? She goes, your last video got 4 views.
Oh, my God.
I look at my video. It got 4 views. I quit.
Yo.
I stopped doing it after that.
Why?
Because I was uninspired. I was around uninspired people.
Well, you know,
and I was taking advice from people who didn't fucking know.
Right, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, bro. This is the thing: is like misery loves company.
Loves company. Yeah.
So, like, first of all, fuck her for saying. I laugh because how long was she waiting?
She was waiting.
She
waited for that video to flop.
She pulled up your video and she's like, I hope he's only got like 6 views. Like, oh, he's got 4. I can't wait.
Yes,
I'm gonna
you
know,
with
fuck
the cheese
that
in her
bitch,
hand,
bro. Fuck her. Anyways. Yeah, with cheese in her hand and a stained shirt. Fuck her. No, listen, I talk about it all the time with the podcast. I don't give a fuck if I get no views.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I I hope that my podcast inspires people.
Right.
But at the end of the day, at a minimum, like, I get to rub shoulders with other people who are doing shit and pick their brain. Like, I like doing this. This is why I do commentating, and why, you know, people are like, hey, I want you to commentate for my event. You know, like, this is why I'm able to do this, because this is who I am, man.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I feel you.
You know me, Matrix. Like, you and I grew up together. I meet successful people all the time.
Right.
And if the mics weren't here, you and I would be having this conversation right now on this couch. It doesn't matter. Except now we get to put it out for other people to hear. And if we inspire one person, then cool.
Yeah.
Then cool.
Yeah. So I was conflicted because the 4 views she talked to me about, where 4 people also hit me up that saw my video and were like, yo, that I needed to hear that.
Yeah, but if you're influencing one person, then that's all that fucking matters. How many people is she fucking influencing?
One cheese company. Buying their fucking product.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know?
So it was a tough decision
crazy.
for me. So
that upsets me. I didn't know that's why you stopped.
Yeah, Okay. And then, like I said, I was overweight. I had gone through a lot of shit.
Right.
Like, I was with a girl for a couple years. She cheated on me with one of my business partners / best friends at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next girl I date, she gets pregnant and she loses the baby. I went into like a depression.
Mm-hmm.
And from the previous relationship, I had no friends. All my friends chose her. And so I was just hanging out with I had 2 boys that were, you know, they meant well. I loved them to death. But their views on the world weren't the same as mine. So we would just drink Henny, eat Chinese food, and it just amplified the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I wasn't hanging around inspired people. It was like I was a donkey dragging a house.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like, let's go get it, and like trying to pull. But the people behind me they're not moving. They're not going. They're not going to do it. And I finally made a decision after that conversation I had with that chick. And I was just like, man, I'm not doing this. And I broke up with her, and I was homeless. I was living out of my car for a little bit. And then my mom was like, yo, you can't live in your car. And I'm 27. And my mom was like, come back home. Like, live here with me.
Right.
And so I went from making money, killing it, investing, doing big things, to living on my mom's couch, sleeping on the floor, actually, at my mom's crib.
Yeah.
And it was a reality check. And then I said, I'm never going to be... I've been at the bottom already. I've been at the bottom pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, financially I'm there, but there's always something that...
Right. You didn't feel... You weren't satisfied.
Exactly. And then I just said, I've been at the bottom already. I can't go further down.
Right.
There's only up from here. And when I had that change in perspective, when I said, fuck it. Like, if it's got to be me against the world, then it's going to be, right? And it's never that. It's funny because that's never the case. Like, when you reach the darkest of the dark, you really see who's with you. And it's bugged out because I didn't really appreciate a lot of the relationships that really meant something. But when I was in ground zero, only a few people really reached out to me. And Mateo was one of them. Mateo was like, yo, you need anything, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
You need to, I'll let you borrow $1,000. And I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'll let you hold $2,000.
He's for real.
And he's like, yo, I got you.
He's for real.
I know he is.
Yeah.
And all those people that were there to pop bottles with me when I'm winning, all those people there that, like, yo, let's go shopping, who want to spend my money. All those people who there, like, let's go to fancy dinners, and the bills on Matrix, $400, $500 dinners. They weren't there when I was eating Top Ramen.
Right. You know, man, I
crazy.
swear to God, bro, Top Ramen needs to sponsor this podcast, bro. No, because this is a reoccurring story that I get on the podcast. You know, I like having people on. Like, obviously, you're my friend, and I grew up with you, right. But you know, you're making moves and you're doing things, and that's the whole point of the podcast for me, is to get people who are being productive with their life, and they have goals, and they're trying to make moves, man, because maybe you inspire somebody. Maybe there's somebody listening right now who went through a real bad relationship and a real low, and they're living on their fucking mom's floor too, and they're like, dude, I want to fucking move to New York and do this, and I have this plan, and I've been thinking about it, but I don't want to do it, or whatever the fucking case may be, you know. But like, for instance, Courtney Henderson. I had Courtney Henderson on the podcast. And the first time I had him on, he was MMA photographer for Monster Energy. He was the MMA photographer. Anytime Monster had to sponsor an event, Courtney Henderson was the one taking photos. And then I had him on I see him on social media, and everything seems like he's doing great. He opens his own studio in San Diego, and then he put a post up about how, it's my 1-year anniversary, you know, in the studio. And I reached out. I'm like, dude, let's do a podcast. Let's talk about it. And like, he tells his story, and I had no idea, but he actually wasn't working for Monster anymore. He was really struggling, and he took all his money and he put it in the studio. And he was eating ramen. Him and his girl he was making great money. And then he went all the way to fucking nothing. Yeah. You know, he went back to the bottom, and it's ups and downs, bro, you know, and you're going to meet that peak. You're going to meet that
valley.
Yeah. The valley, the peak, that's just what it is. But it's important that you keep going, you know, and that's what you're doing, bro. You know, like it took you some time, but like, what brought you out here? How's everything going out here? Like, tell me a little bit about that, like your decision to come out here.
So it was kind of like, I don't know if you're religious, but it was like a faith. Like, I had no control. Spiritual, divine intervention. Uh-huh. I was flat broke. Like, 6 months, zero checks. No money coming in.
Hey, babe, can you just click that real quick? Make sure it's still on, please. Go ahead. Flat broke, no money coming in.
Flat broke, no money. Living on my mom's floor. Fat as fuck. And then I just said, bro, I'm a do something. Mm-hmm. I'm working. I'm doing like dead end jobs. I'm doing fucking DoorDash. I'm doing Instacart, like in my car, making money in my car. Then my boy Mike, who lives out here, he's lived out here. I used to bartend with him back home. He was actually somebody I recruited in a previous business that I was doing when I was in that Ponzi scheme.
You've always been a hustler, man. But like,
shut up.
No. You've always been a hustler, man. You've. I'm sure that there's every experience that you've had. There's something you could take from it and use today. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
So he was out here, and he was like, "Yo, we're moving. You could take our old apartment. It's about $1,500. I don't know if you could afford that." I was like, "Bro, that's nothing. Like, I got that." Uh-huh. Plus minimum wage in Cali is $15 an hour. I'll be good. Like, I'm good.
Is that really the minimum wage right now?
It's about to be. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
fucking high.
From like $8 in Connecticut. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. So I said, all right, I'm going. And then on my way here, he was like, somebody rented the room. Like, we don't have it for you anymore. The fuck you mean you don't have it for me anymore? Like, I'm on my way there. Like, I'm going. And then by chance, I guess they were looking around, and we found a place on 4th Street. From our house, you can see the ocean. So I went from living in my car, afraid of fucking cops knocking on my window, deers crossing the road in Stanford, like shivering in the middle of the night, eating Top Ramen, sleeping on my mom's floor, to having an ocean view in Venice, California. And it just happened that I made $6,000 in a month doing dead end jobs. And I look back and I'm like, there's no way I should have made that much money. I don't understand where that money came from.
Well, you just you wanted it, bro.
Right.
You know?
And it just, how I moved out here is just like, I'm gonna fucking do it. I made the decision. I said, there's nothing here for me. Bad things keep happening. So one thing I want the listeners to understand is that pay attention to life. Like, pay attention to the patterns in your fucking life.
Yeah.
If bad things keep happening to you, that means you need to change.
Right.
It's the universe is literally giving you the signs that you pray for. Like, I pray for a sign. Lord, give me a sign. Shitty ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Lord, give me a sign. You lose your job. Lord, give me a sign. Like, they're there. But people ignore them. Like,
right. Well, they soak in their sorrows, you know.
Right.
Like, poor me. Dude, shut the fuck up.
Right.
And what's next?
Exactly.
You know? Like,
bro, just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't make money, right? Just because you're rich doesn't mean you can't lose it all. Right. There's people in worse circumstances than you. I was talking to some guy yesterday, and he said, if you have a roof over your head, money, and food, you're in the top 3% in the world. Mm-hmm. People have crazy. The fucking audacity to wake up and they're like, man, I only have $50 in my account. Poor me. It's like, bro, there are kids in Africa that will never. They're born with AIDS. There are kids in Africa right now dropping dead from starvation. Like, right. I'm not trying to be so bleak, but your issues, your first world problems, fuck them.
Yeah.
Stop being a bitch. Grab your nuts and go get it. Like, go after it.
You know, I met this guy, very successful. I don't know where he is on the scale financially. If I looked at him and had to guess, I would say he's a millionaire. And I remember he made a comment. We were like talking about like success and shit. And he made a comment and he said there are poor people that are one decision away from being millionaires.
Yeah.
And there are millionaires who are one bad decision away from losing it all. And like, I was like, shit. Oh shit.
It's true.
That's true.
It's true. There's a new millionaire made every single day in the United States.
Is that like
every single
legit?
day? There's thousands of millionaires made in the U.S. I don't know the exact number, but there's thousands of millionaires every day in the U.S.
This is my statistic. This is what I always tell people is like, okay, let's look at California. Mm-hmm. And let's take California from San Francisco to San Diego. And then let's do... Oh, you're going to fix the camera? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, let's take California. Let's look at California from San Francisco to San Diego. And we're going to take the coast, right? Houses that are beachfront property. And we're going to compare it to, maybe a mile inland, right? So you have from San Francisco to San Diego, beachfront property, a mile inland. All of those properties, all of those houses are at least $1 million each. And that's lowballing it. That's lowballing it, bro.
Probably way more.
You know, probably more like, like beachfront property in California is easily like $20-30 million.
Right.
Easily, But what you can say 100% that everybody that owns that house is a millionaire.
Has to be.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Bro, there's money out here to be made, but you just have to find your niche.
Right.
But you're never going to find that niche if you're not taking chances.
Right.
And honestly, man, like, we talked before, and you just had a job interview, and it's a normal job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But your hustle, bro, you like, to me, your story's dope because, like, I like having people on here, like I said, that are fucking doing things. And you're doing things. You're making moves. There's probably somebody listening right now that wants to up and move to California, but they're scared to.
Yeah.
But, it's easy to watch a movie and be like, oh, yeah, I just watched that movie, Pursuit of Happiness,
mm-hmm.
and that's so incredible. I'm inspired. But the thing is Will Smith plays the character, and there's music playing, and like, that's not really relatable to real life, even though you know that that's a real story.
Yeah,
you watch that movie and you're like, yeah, I can do something. Someone did it, but like, fuck, that was that dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There are people every day with success stories, and that's what I want to capture with the podcast. Like, to me, bro, you're successful because, like you said, you fucking changed your situation.
Yeah.
You took the step. You made the decision to be where you are, and now you're out here. You're not struggling financially right now, and you're finding your shit, bro. You're riding the wave of life, and there's so many people that are standing on the beach, and they're watching everybody ride the wave, and they're fucking sulking, but they don't even want to get their goddamn board wet.
Right. It's true. Everybody's looking at the eagles flying. They're like, man, how did they do that? Jump off the cliff.
Yeah, bro.
Jump.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. You know, like if you jump, you might not fly.
You might die.
Yeah. But if you don't jump, it's guaranteed you'll never fly.
Never. 100%.
Not
exactly.
Once. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just a shift in perspective, right? Like people need to be more educated on the things that they're passionate about, right? Like for instance, I just started picking up photography. I want to say like 2 years now.
But you're good at it, bro. You came in here and like you moved the cameras, and it took us a while to get started because you wanted to be perfect. You're legit, bro. You know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, it's all right.
And sorry about the camera quality, guys. Like the cameras were dying on us and stuff, and then this camera right here, it's just an iPhone. And it looks far. This is a shitty video, but yeah, it's all crooked and shit. But yeah, this isn't obviously not the studio that we normally use, but we made do with it. So
yeah. But yeah, like I said, I just started picking up photography and videography, and there are people obviously who are 100 times better than me, like fucking professional. But one thing that I do every single day is that I learn a little bit about what I'm passionate about. Yeah. There's never one day that I don't go without learning about photography. And if it's a 5-minute video on YouTube about camera angles or composition or frame rates when you're recording videos or editing, I always watch, and I'm always putting information into my mind. People want instant success. That's not how it works, right? It took me 4 years to get up to 270 pounds. I'm going to at least give myself 4 years to get back to 180.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, it's just, you're not just going to do it.
That's a good point, bro.
You're not going to do it overnight.
My boy Ricky Lule, he's one of the black belts at our gym. He just shared a post, and it said, like, when you plant the apple seed, it takes a while for the apple tree to grow when you plant the seed or some shit like that. Right. But like, that's true. It takes time, bro. It's not going to happen overnight, but you gotta work at it.
One of my favorite motivational speakers. So because I want to be a speaker, I listen to amazing speakers. Yeah. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher. Yeah, one day I'm saying it on this podcast, and one day I'm going to share the stage with him. And he says people rush to be 21. It takes 21 years to be 21. You can't be 21 years in 18 years. It's impossible. Right. Take your time with, like, one of the biggest things is that people are cynical, critical, and they focus on their shortcomings. Yeah. I remember I was going through a stage in my life where I was looking at different religions, and I would go to different churches, and I was like trying to figure it out. I lost my uncle. I lost a baby. I lost a relationship. I lost money. I gained weight. Like, I was in a fucking hole. Right. And I went to this church in New York City called Hillsong, and one of the pastors, his name is Carl Lentz. He's like the pastor to Justin Bieber and Kevin Durant.
Oh, for real?
And he baptized these big name people. And I went and I saw him speak at his church in New York, and he took 3 people from the crowd. He put one person far away, and then he put 2 people close to each other. And he goes, "We live in a society where people are focusing the one in the middle. This is who we are, and we're focusing on the space between who we want to be and where we got to go. But we never focus on looking back on who we used to be and how far we've come." Right. And I think that's powerful.
That shit keeps dropping on you.
It keeps dropping low.
No, man, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, and it gave you guys the visual with the people, and that's true. That's true. You never and I try to reflect like that. Because I noticed that. I noticed that too, you know, and Melanie and I always talk about it where we're like, fuck, man, look how far we come. And, you know, you always want more. You're always looking at the shit that you don't have. Right. You know, and like, oh, man, I just want this to happen. But you don't look at how far you've progressed.
How much you've already done. Yeah. Like, I look at it like being ambitious is a gift and a curse. It's a gift because you're never satisfied. Right. And you always want more. But it's a curse because you're never satisfied and you always want more. And you're so hard on yourself. Like, the most ambitious people they want more. They want more. They want to do better. They know they can do better. And when we relax and we're like, damn, I need to take a break. We're like, fuck, why am I relaxing? I need to go harder. And I just think we as ambitious people get to take another look at how we see that part of our lives. And we got to enjoy. And for you're experiencing something that I haven't experienced yet, and that's fatherhood. And
it's dope.
I bet it is. And you're a great dad. I already know that because your awesome friend is basically doing the same thing. And then just
except I get to yell at them and shit.
Exactly.
They gotta listen to me.
Exactly. And then if they don't listen, you just like, go talk to your mom.
Yeah, get away from me.
Get away from me. I don't got time for this. But essentially, I don't know where I was going with that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh yeah. So you're a father,
right?
And you have different reasons to be ambitious. Like,
yeah, I have a different motivator.
Exactly. You got to keep the lights on. You got to keep food. You got to get clothes. Like, you got
makes a difference.
You have to hustle, right? I'm 29. I'm single. I just moved to Cali. Like, I don't have to do anything right now. As long as I'm paying my bills and I'm living my life, I don't have to do anything right now.
But which is even more of a reason for you to take risks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I can do shit like become a photographer and just start like fucking around with this passion because I could do it.
Bro, I'm gonna put you on with Courtney Henderson, bro. He wasn't a photographer, bro. His first podcast, he wasn't a photographer.
Right.
He dropped his job. He had been making almost 6 figures, dropped his job, wasn't happy, and he said, I'm gonna try photography.
Yeah.
And he became the MMA photographer for Monster Energy, and like,
but that's how it works. You gotta fucking the saying, you just throw shit to the wall and something's gonna stick.
Yeah, you gotta throw it up.
You just gotta keep going and keep going, and something's gonna hit. Like, I know for me, my gift is my ability to speak. Yeah, I might slip over some words because I'm from the hood and I don't pronounce all of them. But when it gets down to it, like in all aspects of my life, sales, women, friendship, laughter, that all comes from the ability to speak and relay a message.
Right.
So I'm doing this photography thing because it might lead me to something, but I know that at the end of the day, my voice, my message is going to lead me to my greater success. Yeah. So. Well,
that's dope, man. Well, fuck, man. I really appreciate you fucking coming on. We've been here for a little bit over an hour now.
Oh, yeah.
You want to give any shout outs and shit before we roll out?
I want to give a shout out to the birthday girl. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to my mom, my dad, my boy Jesus. Everybody, man. It's crazy, but like you, Mateo, Stephanie, may she rest in peace, Sasha, Ariel, Marcus, like that whole crew when we were 16 years old, man. Those years shaped my life. Yeah. Dude. Like literally, like 14, 15, I was a thug, and then I dated this girl, and she was like, those pants are too loose. Like, you need a fucking right.
She did used to run you like that, huh?
She ran me, but she did nice things to me, bro. Like, relax, take it easy, all right. But she did, and you know what? She showed me, like, it's one thing to have like your mom and dad show you love, right? But it's another thing to meet someone who doesn't know you, right? And they appreciate all your. It's crazy because I was 16 years old, and people say, when you're so young, you don't know what love is. I haven't found a love like that since. Yeah. Right. And it was just organic. Yeah, we were both fucking wild. Like, we both did crazy ass shit.
You're young.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But we cared for each other. And those years shaped a lot of who I am today. Yeah. It motivated me to be and do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw her mom and her dad, who barely spoke English, came to this country and built a incredible life for themselves. And then from my mom and my dad, I saw what commitment was. I saw what hard work was. I saw what sacrifice was. And I had all of these things brewing at the same time. And you have this person, me, I want to give credit to myself because I was so receptive to these things. I could have been another statistic, bro. I could have ended up in the streets. I had all the reasons to. I could have been 5 baby mamas, like going sick, in and out of jail, drug addict. But I chose to walk a different path, and I had a bunch of influences in my life. People.
And like I was saying earlier, I don't think I got to finish it, but like that's the thing about Stanford, where we grew up, is like we got to see the different sides of life, of a reality. Oh, you can grow up here and be in the hood,
and still see.
Or you can grow up here and we went to school with kids that came from those backgrounds, and I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I actually have a quick story that fucking jumpstarted my inspiration. I was 14 years old, and I met this chick. I'm not gonna say her name because she probably watched the podcast. And this girl was rich. Her family was from Croatia, and they did import and export. They lived in like North Stanford. And I was like, yo, this girl's kind of hot. She was, so I spit a little bit of game, and we were talking for a little bit. And then she invited me to her house for a house party. I remember showing up to her house, and my mom was, you remember that minivan that had SpongeBob SquarePants and everything? My mom pulls up to the street. That shit's going, like the brakes are squeaking, screaming. The inside is decorated with SpongeBob. It's dirty. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I remember pulling up to the house, and this girl has like sports cars in the front. I knock on the door. It sounded like a bank vault. She opens the door. There's white marble floors and fucking chandeliers. Bro, I thought I was in a rap video. I was like, where's Biggie? Like he's gonna come out rapping. Like, and
you're like, why'd you answer the door? I was expecting the butler.
Bro, they had a butler.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God, there was a guy walking around serving cheese. Like, I'm not even kidding, bro. I can't make this up. At a kid
party?
I swear to God. I swear on everything I love, bro. And I remember,
shout out to Stamford, Connecticut.
Deadass. I remember sitting with these kids, and all these kids are talking about 401k, what college they're going to, investment portfolios. And in my head, I'm this kid from the Bronx that everybody's broke. I used to go to the store and pay for bread with fucking food stamps.
Yeah.
And I never seen a chandelier in my life. I was like, yo, that shit is big as fuck. That is a nice ass lamp. That shit is expensive. And then these kids are talking about this, and I felt like, yo, I made it. I'm in. This is my squad. I'm gonna be great. Yeah. I'm good. Then the next day, like the party ends, I go home. I'm hype. I'm telling my mom every detail. Yo, the house didn't even smell like mistoling. They didn't have less oil. Yo, son, somebody was serving crackers. I had a white person in a vest give me food. Like, yo, I was hyped. So I go to school the next day and I see her, and I don't know if you feel that, but like energy when people are just like down and shit, you just feel their vibe. And I hit her on the shoulder. I was like, yo, what's up? She turned around and I was like, fuck. She was all like, and then she goes, my mom and my dad don't want me hanging out with you.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? Because you're ghetto. And I was like, yo, I'm hood, but I'm not ghetto. Like, I know ghetto. I'm not ghetto.
You're like, bitch, I'll show you ghetto.
You want to see ghetto, motherfucker?
Like, come to my house. We'll go to the neighbors.
Nah, so at 13 years old, I started doing shit. Like, actually, that's how I met Mateo.
Oh, okay.
There you go. It comes full circle.
Yeah, because I've heard this story before.
I started caddying.
Oh,
and that's where I met Mateo, and I met Kyrie Fort.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyrie Fort. I've been trying to get him on the podcast. We'll get him eventually.
I think he's in Hermosa or Manhattan Beach or something like that.
we drove through it on the way here. Yeah.
But I started caddying. I started like washing dishes. I started doing shit like
just grinding.
Anything.
Right.
And it took me 6 years at 13 just grinding. I don't care. I do everything. I do anything. And then I got introduced to a network marketing company. They introduced me to leadership, sales, and all that shit. And that stuff changed my life. And the rest is history, man. Yeah. All that combined with the people that I rock with. And, like, it's just, I was blessed, right? So people see my story and they're like, yo, that's a Cinderella story. It's like, nah, man, I saw the signs. I paid attention and I just made my shifts.
Yeah.
I made my changes. And I listened to the people who had the best intentions for me.
Right. And you're still doing that, right?
Every single fucking day. Every day.
Every day. You make observations and you adjust as needed.
Yeah. And just you network with a higher vibration of people, right? Like you just start fucking with people who are thinking different, acting different. Like, I'll sacrifice drinking Henny right now for partying in the fucking Cayman Islands in 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, you could turn up this weekend and go to fucking Santa Monica and turn up and like fuck bitches, but I'd rather work and then in 10 years be in fucking
on a yacht.
That's
yours.
And somewhere
and
exotic.
All the bitches in their bikinis want to fuck you.
Exactly.
And you're like, leave me alone, I'm tired.
Leave me alone. Yeah, exactly.
You're like, white man. Where was that chick from?
Croatia.
From now on, if you ever hire a butler,
they're gonna be from Croatia.
Croatian. Has to be.
Like,
come here, Croatian man.
Are you Croatian? Fuck you. Nah, I don't hire Albanians. ABI. Shout out to
all right,
ABI.
man. Where could they follow you at?
You can follow me, Matrix Q, on all platforms, man. It's real easy.
So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah. Nah, I don't do
not
Twitter.
on Twitter.
Nah.
All right,
it's
you
mostly,
still on YouTube at all?
Yeah, you could go and watch my old stuff.
Okay.
I'm working on some new stuff, switching up the style.
Yeah, you need to because you're good with this video shit. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna link you up, man, with Courtney Henderson before you get out of here. I'm maybe you could pick his brain a little bit and just see if you can get some some advice from him and
pointers,
shit,
tips, anything.
Yeah, and just networking is cool
for sure.
And I'm sure he's a real down to earth dude. I'm sure he'd love to hear about you and hear from you. So
yes, sir.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on,
thanks
ladies and gentlemen.
Me,
we're out of here. Thanks
Peace.
for tuning in. From nothing to something. This is episode 33. Danny Moe with Matrix Q.
Yeah.
Peace.
Ah!